Hi, everyone, and welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm Marty Snider from NBC Sports. This is Chris Rice from College Racing, also right here at NASCAR.com. Certainly want to get to Bristol and Jimmie Johnson's big win there, but the big news of the week coming down on Tuesday, Dale Earnhardt Jr. going to retire at the end of 2017. Chris, I want to get your reaction to that.
I'm kind of sad, I really am, because, I mean, he's our most popular driver in NASCAR, so... But you know what? Dale Jr.'s had a hard time the last couple of years, so I kind of seen it coming. You know, it's time for him to look at what's out there beyond driving a car. I think that's key. I think he's going to move on into ownership and do some things around NASCAR that's going to help us in the future, and I think you'll see that coming.
Well, and I think he'll still be around as an ambassador for the sport, no doubt. I know you're sad he's not going to be behind the wheel, but he'll still be involved with the sport, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think he'll do something that's creative and, you know, kind of like Jeff Burton has done over his years, and you don't see it, all the safety stuff that Jeff Burton's done. I believe Dale Earnhardt Jr. will jump right in that because of the concussion that Dale Earnhardt Jr. has had. I think he'll jump into that and make it better for all race car drivers in the future.
Meanwhile, his teammate Jimmie Johnson winds up winning at Bristol. 82 wins now. We're talking Yarborough will be the next guy who passes on the list. Darrell Waltrip, the next guy. He's in rarefied air with where he is. It's amazing. A couple months ago, everybody's going, what's wrong with Jimmie Johnson? And now here he is winning back-to-back races. Are they better than they've ever been because of their experience and their savvy and how they approach weekends?
Their experience. Let's talk about that. He's a closer, everyone. I mean, I watched Kyle Larson. I've said it on this show a couple of times. He was the fastest car there all weekend, and he could not close that race. Sped on pit road, but Jimmie Johnson, he goes out and closes, and that's because of his and Chad Canales' experience, for sure.
No doubt. A key factor at Bristol on Sunday afternoon, or Monday afternoon, I should say. All right, Clint Bowyer winds up finishing second at Bristol. Let me just ask you this outright. They have clicked very well, he and Mike Bugaravich. Are they the best team at Stewart-Haas right now?
They're definitely the best team because they have nothing to lose. They didn't have any notes going in with Clint Bowyer, so they're just trying everything they can try. Rodney Childress and Kevin Harvick have this notes all from their Chevrolet package, and they're trying to figure out what they need. But Clint Bowyer, he just don't care. He's got to go out and race fast. I mean, and he's got to race fast because he don't have much time.
Exactly right. 8 races in. All right, Joe Gibbs Racing still with a goose egg in the win category. We've talked about this for a couple of weeks. At this time last year, we're talking about them having 4 wins, and then they win Richmond, which we made it 4 in a row, actually, for them. 5 overall in the season. I guess, one, what's missing? Is it the new car, and can they turn around this weekend at Richmond? They won both Richmond races last year.
It will not turn around this weekend all of a sudden, but this is a race that's key for them to go out and figure out maybe what's wrong with those race cars. Yes, they have a new body on their Toyota Camrys that's kind of changed up the aero balance. And when you change up the aero balance, change the tire, that's a big curveball for all race teams. And I'm telling you, Joe Gibbs, they have a lot of depth. I believe that this is a race that they will figure out what's wrong.
Trust me, they are trying to figure out what's going on, and certainly a racetrack where we know they not only won both races last year, they dominated both races at Richmond last year. So this will be a very good barometer of where they are. All right, let's fast forward to September and start talking a little bit more about the racetrack at Richmond. This is the last race of the regular season in September. So it's a night race in September. It's a day race this time around. How much can you really learn when the racetrack is so different night to day?
We have some really good notes. I feel that, you know, even us at College Racing, we have great notes that we can figure out what's going on in the daytime and translate it to nighttime. And this is the last race to get into the playoffs in 2017. So you better figure out, you better do a lot of testing at that racetrack, a lot of practicing, I mean, and you better figure out what is good for you and your race team to go fast come September.
Obviously a very big, important race when it comes to making the playoffs this weekend at Richmond. All right, time for our NASCAR Fantasy Live picks. Who are you going to go with this week?
My guy finally finished in the top 5, but this weekend I'm going with a JGR car with Kyle Busch. It's time for him to win. Let's think about it. He's ran up front. He was one of the fastest cars at Bristol, so I believe Kyle Busch and that group will go out and win this weekend.
I picked him last week, and he did have a fast car, but he wasn't able to finish it off with all those tire issues.
Last week.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin this weekend. Hometown race for him. I agree. I think it's kind of crazy. We're both picking JGR cars, but I think this is a good, as I said earlier, barometer weekend for Joe Gibbs Racing. I do think they turn things around. I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin this weekend.
That's a good pick, but mine's better.
As always, he would say, right? Hey, make sure you keep it parked right here on NASCAR.com all weekend long, live leaderboards, in-car audio, and, of course, all the news updates about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and before and after the Richmond race as well. You don't want to miss out on that. It's the Toyota Owners 400 this weekend. Check it out Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Enjoy the Richmond race weekend, everybody.